heading to find a place to eat breakfast. It is 7:30 in the morning. We woke up at 6 in the morning from our 4 p.m. sleeping time last night. We are searching for a breakfast meal. Then we will be heading to the downtown area, downtown Manhattan, to join our free walk tour for today that will last for 6 hours. And then after that, I think we'll be searching for a mall or something to check on some things that our friends wanted us to buy for them. Alright, so that's it. Here are the yellow cabs. We are now on the 34th Street, and as you can see, the road is narrow. And a typical morning. Gray clouds, raining, a bit of a mini shower. Yeah. Ayun na, Edon Road. Edon Road mo. We are heading to the 28th Street. We are at Avenue of the American, and we'll be taking a subway going to downtown Manhattan today. Alrighty.
Cash?
Cash.
Insert your money, ma'am. Simple way to make the charge your ticket.
Lang.
Hola.
Receipt, please.
Receipt, please.
And take your receipt.
Express 5, train to Flatbush Avenue, Brooklyn College. Approaching the station, please stand away from the platform edge.
So right now we are here in the financial district of Lower Manhattan, and now as what you can see, it is the Federal Hall of National Memorial, and that's the statue of George Washington. I don't know well some information here, but because of the Google Map and Mr. Google, it helped me find the tourist spots in the city. That tall building is the Holy Trinity Church. We just came there to have a short prayer, and this is Shep. Alright, so this will be our spot today, the meetup for our free tour. We still have 45 more minutes until we meet our group.
Anong building yung
Movie. This is the building where the movie Breakfast in Tiffany shot. The Stephen and Company in Wall Street. This is how it looks like around Wall Street in front of. This is the Triumph building owned by the chairman of Miss Universe, Donald Trump, according to Chef. The typical narrow road, but skyscrapers building, as you can see. Yeah. And here is the building of the Tiffany and Company. Quick view of the Wall Street.
If I work at a museum or at a university, know that you have helped shape me into the professional that I wish to be. So in essence, the world is my teacher right now. We're going to. The population is close to 600,000 individuals. At night, the population drops to about 50,000. It's not a very residential neighborhood. Before September 11, 2001, only close to 15,000 individuals lived in the area. Now, in 1664, is when the British took control of this territory. And it was a very peaceful transaction, or transition, if you will. When the British keep alive the best affections of the heart, impress the obligation of...
Yeah, so we are heading now to Holy Trinity Cathedral, where we were earlier. And we are now with the group. And this is our second stop. The first one was in the Federal Hall. Alright?
Of the Bank of New York, an institution that is still around, today housed on that building directly behind us. His tomb, if you look in the church right here, you'll recognize his tomb. It's the one that has the pyramidal structure on top. So if you look in the distance there, behind this base, behind this tomb, is where Alexander Hamilton is buried. The structure that, or the tomb that has the pyramidal structure on top. Now,
this is the patio outside the Holy Trinity Church. Obviously, it looks like cemetery.
Liberty Park. And if you are familiar with an organization called Occupy Wall Street, has anyone heard that? Yeah. If you have heard that, this is the place that they occupy. Movement started in 2010, late 2010. They were here for 2 months. Then after 2 months they were evicted. Everything was dumped into trucks and dropped off in an empty lot located on Canal Street. It's interesting because I was leading a tour on a Friday. The movement was here all the time. It looked like a very permanent thing. The next morning I show up on a Saturday to do an all-in-one tour, and
Hello, we are heading to the World Trade Center.
across the street.
Skyscrapers.
That's where the World Trade Center is. Here in Lower Manhattan, raised by George Washington and countless other individuals. As I mentioned, that's where George Washington sat. That's his view, the seal of the United States of America. I'm fascinated with the symbols. The American eagle in Native American mythology is the animal that flies the highest. They use it in their rituals, like you see it in the feathers of their headdresses, and in dream catchers as well. They have the feathers on the lower levels, so nightmares will get trapped and good dreams will trickle down. Now, it's illegal for the regular
na tumulong sa ano.
What is the pronunciation of it? Yehovah. Yehovah, the name of God in Hebrew. So in essence, it connects to very deep in the Judeo-Christian tradition. And directly on the lower level here, the midsection, that altar, this altar that you see, was designed by Pierre L'Enfant. Pierre L'Enfant was the same gentleman who laid out the streets for our nation's capital. He was a mason in some of the streets in Washington, D.C. If you connect them.
We are here at the Chinatown. We just took a walk.
About to visit the largest and densest Chinatown in all of North America. Chinatown is a very particular community. It's an ethnic community, and usually ethnic neighborhoods in New York tend to be time. Chinatown is the only place where this is not happening. Eventually it keeps expanding. It has expanded into Little Italy to the north, the Lower East Side to the east, and so far there are two more Chinatowns in Brooklyn and one in Queens. It's an amazing. Alright, we can gather in this area here behind this car. Sorry, sir, I apologize. But this allows me to go through
Yes, sir.
to that building there. So this is the oldest part of the community, or the oldest section of Chinatown, because as I mentioned, the community has expanded. Now, since the time of the Dutch, there were Chinese individuals in New Amsterdam, but really when in the mid-19th century, after those projects were finished,
This is the Chinatown here in New York.
across the street there where you can buy some very unique souvenirs. Notice the cats. You see the larger one to the right? That's the Chinese cat of good luck. One hand is pointing to a coin, indicative of financial good luck, and the other one is pointing up, indicative of good luck in general. Many businesses have these cats. This sculpture here represents Dr. Sun Yat-sen. He is one of the leaders of the early Chinese Republic. Notice this quote here that reads, "All under heaven are equal," so connected to those ideals of democracy. In the area there's also a sculpture representing Confucius. Confucius lived 500 years before the Common Era, and he is reputed as having established the Golden Rule. Golden Rule meaning treat others the way that you would like to be treated. So again, connected to those ideals of democracy. Now this space here, Columbus Park, wasn't always
We are here in Little Italy.
Before I enter, they just gotta look at me and they're like, before I enter, what do you need? But I got to take a look inside. Beautiful chandeliers and decorations. It's like the closest thing to heaven on the face of this planet. It's very beautiful. But the building itself is very nice. You see the map of the shield of New York on the triangular section. The windmill, a reference.
We are now heading to what they called Soho. These are the huge building here. This is our third stop after Little Italy. So Soho stands for Southern of Eastern. Very nice.
Broadway is the longest road in all of Manhattan, and if you look at a map of the island, you'll see that it doesn't have a straight orientation like most of the
Chef, what are you looking? We are walking Soho. Di ba sabi south of Houston? So we're having our lunch right now.
Yeah.
Blicker's famous pizza.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah. So for today, all carbs. Ay, ng mga cannolis papalagyan ng cream.
That looks
You
amazing.
cannot choose.
I can't choose.
I love carrot cake.
Really?
Do you know?
And you can only be the cake boss on it.
We're having our dessert cannoli. We just had our lunch and we are heading to our next stop.
Right? See?
The reason as to why that is because at one time the Hudson River was in the near vicinity. Just 2 blocks over we have Hudson Street, but they have added territory and the shorelines of Manhattan have been expanded in time. Now also right next to it we have the narrowest house in all of Manhattan, that building there, building number 75 and a half, completed in 1923, distinguished because noted American poet and writer Edna St. Vincent Millay resided immediate area, or those 6 properties that you see directly down there, were built in the mid-19th century for people in the service industry. They were not very desirable residences. They don't have, in real life, it's called the Little Owl, Central Park.
Okay.
Also the show Sex and the City. Sarah Jessica Parker, or Carrie Bradshaw, she technically lives in the Upper East Side, but the exterior shots of the apartment of the building that they use is here in the village as well, building number territory under which the buildings were created. So we can sell territory below territory, we can sell air. We have the smallest piece of territory in all of New York, and you also
Smallest
the
part of
New York.
What did I miss? It's the real estate. Yeah, I got that.
How much? Get in contact with the Central Park Conservancy and you pay $7,000 and you can have, you can arrange for a bench.
No, just it looks like Freddie Mercury.
Alright, we have made it back to Greenwich Village. Well, some people say some real estate developers identify the West Village extending all the way up to 6th Avenue, but really 7th Avenue is the border, the dividing line. This immediate space where we are is called Christopher Square Park, and or the main feature of this space is this monument installed here. 4